In the sparkling azure lagoon, a place shimmering with 1,000 shades of blue and green, lived a tiny, brightly colored tropical fish named Finny. Now, Finny was charming. He was playful, and his scales flashed like tiny jewels in the sunlit water. But Finny had one little problem. He was never, ever happy with what he had. He'd spent his days watching the world outside his watery home, filled with a deep, nagging sense of envy. "I wish he had wings," Finny would sigh, his little fishy face pressed against the surface of the water. He'd watch the seagulls soar and dip in the endless blue sky above. Imagine being able to fly like that, just swooping and gliding wherever you please. Then, he spotted his friend, Freddy the Frog, hopping along the sandy shore. Andy looked at Freddy. He wished he had long legs like him, so he could hop across the sand and explore the beach. He'd complain to anyone who would listen. He was a master of comparison, and in his own eyes, he always came up short. His best friend in the whole lagoon was a wise, slow, mossy sea turtle named Sally. Sally had seen many seasons come and go, and she carried her wisdom as gracefully as she carried her shell. She'd often find Finny moping and try to offer some gentle advice. "Finny," Sally would say in her calm, rumbling voice, "you have the fastest fins in the entire lagoon. You can dart through the cattle faster than anyone. Why not be grateful for what you are?" But Finny would just flap his tail in frustration. "But being a fish is so boring, Sally," he would whine, his voice bubbling with discontent. "It's just swimming and more swimming. You want something more. You want to be special." One sunny morning, while Finny was listlessly digging in the warm sand at the bottom of the lagoon, his fins hit something hard. He dug around it, curious. It wasn't a rat, and it wasn't a normal seashell. It was extraordinary, shimmering with a deep, enchanting purple. It pulsed with a faint, silvery light that seemed to dance in the water. It was a wish-granting shell. As Finny stared, mesmerized, a tiny, ethereal voice echoed from within the shell, a sound like distant chimes. "Speak your deepest wish, little fish," it whispered, "and it shall be granted." But only once. Finny gasped. His little fish heart thumping with excitement. This was it. This was his chance to finally be everything he ever wanted to be. He didn't hesitate for a single second. He looked up through the water at the sky where the gulls flew with such freedom. He looked over at the beach where Freddy the Frog was hopping with joyous energy. He wanted it all. I wish he could be anything but a fish," Finny shouted, his voice surprisingly loud and clear in the quiet water. Those shells began to shimmer blindingly in response. "I want to be able to fly and jump. Make me the best creature there is." Whoosh! A flash of brilliant, warm light enveloped Finny completely. It was so bright he had to close his eyes. When the light finally cleared, Finny felt different, very different. He was no more longer a simple, sleek fish. Where his side fins had been, he now had two enormous, bright parrot wings, feathered in vibrant reds and greens. And where his tail had been, he now had two long, springy frog legs, perfectly coiled for jumping. He was a magnificent, multi-talented, and if we're being honest, a slightly ridiculous-looking creature. He did it. Finny cheered, his new voice a strange squawk-croak hybrid. "I'm the best. I can do everything." Now, to try it all out. First, he decided to test his new legs. He crouched down, gathering his power, and then jumped. He launched himself out of the water like a rocket, soaring high into the air and landing with a soft thud on the beach, right past a very surprised Freddy the Frog. "See, Freddy," Finny gloated, "much higher than you." But his celebration was short-lived. As soon as he landed, his beautiful, silky parrot wings were immediately coated in heavy, sticky, wet sand. He tried to wiggle them, to shake them out, but they were clumped and matted. He couldn't move them at all. "Oh, no more. My wings," Finny cried, flapping uselessly. The sand felt like glue. He realized with a jolt that wings meant for the clean, open air were completely useless when caked in sand. Panicked, he decided to try flying instead. He managed to hop and drag himself back to the water's edge, shaking as much sand off his wings as he could. With a mighty effort, he took off, flapping his wings furiously. And it worked. He was flying. Higher and higher he went, soaring past the seagulls who squawked in disbelief at the sight of a flying frogbird. "This is amazing," he shrieked with pure joy, the wind whistling past him. He was above it all, free as a bird, just as he'd always dreamed. But then, a new problem began. He looked down and he felt a strange, uncomfortable sensation in his legs. His long, sensitive frog legs, which were meant to stay moist, began to dry out rapidly in the hot sun and whined. They felt stiff, then itchy and then outright painful. "Ouch, it's too hot, my leg," Finny squealed, his joy turning to agony. He had no more choice but to dive back down toward the safety of the lagoon. He plunged his dry, stick frog legs into the cool, soothing water. Ah, what a relief. They immediately felt better. But this relief brought on a brand new disaster. His thick, heavy wings were now completely waterlogged. The water soaked into every feather, weighing him down like a pair of anchors. He could barely stay afloat, let alone swim. Finny was utterly miserable. He was half bird, half frog, and completely terrible at being both. He couldn't fly properly because his legs needed water, and he couldn't swim properly because his wings hated it. He was trapped between two worlds belonging to neither. Just then, he saw his old friend, Sally the sea turtle, swimming by. She moved slow and steady, her powerful flippers slicing through the water with an effortless grace that Finny had once called boring. Now, it looked like the most beautiful, perfect movement he had ever seen. Sally, help! Finny cried, sputtering as his waterlogged wings pulled him under the surface again and again. Sally, other calm, swam over and used her strong shell to help push the struggling Finny towards a shallow sandbar where he could rest. You have wings and legs now, Finny, Sally sighed softly, her wise eyes full of sympathy. But you forgot you wish for a body that could handle them all at once. A bird needs light bones to fly. A frog needs smooth, moist skin. You, as a fish, needed fins and gills to live in the water. And those, she sighed gently, are what you threw away. Finny looked down at his mismatched, crashing parts. The sandy wings, the soaking legs. He finally understood. His speed, his vibrant colors, his ability to breathe underwater, the very things he had complained about were perfectly designed for his life in the lagoon. He had thrown away a perfect design in exchange for a clumsy, chaotic mess. And he had no more wishes left. I just want to be a simple fish again, Finny sighed, a tear mixing with the lagoon water. I miss my gills. I miss my fast, perfect fins. Sally nudged him gently with her nose. Well, you can't change your body Finny, but you can change your heart. You can start being grateful for what you have now. You can learn to make the best of it. From that day forward, Finny learned to adapt. It wasn't easy. He had to spend half his time slowly soaking his legs on the sandbar and the other half patiently drying his wings in the sun. It was hard work, but slowly, he stopped complaining. He even learned to use his powerful frog legs to kick in the water, almost like fins, making him a unique swimmer in his own right. He never compared himself to the gulls or the frogs again. He finally understood that being yourself, exactly as you are, is the greatest power of all. And the true, lasting happiness isn't about wishing for something more, but about appreciating all the wonderful things you were given in the first place. Thanks for watching our story today. If you enjoyed Finny's journey, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more tales from the lagoon. See you next time.